good learning experience from the audience. And these particular audiences at TLU are pretty advanced. It's impressive because the audience told me what they wanted to know, and their questions were really good, and they began to interact with each other, and that was really exciting.
Developing your skills is an ongoing process. Any lawyer that tells you, I've done this 100 times, you may have done it 100 times with a modicum of success, but you also may have done it 100 times wrong. You know, we always joke, what's the best way to get a $10 million case? Screw up a $50 million case.
It doesn't matter how hard I work or how much I try, I can always get better. It's like when I come to Trial Lawyers University and I go to these events, it's like, have I put in the self-development? Have I put in the work to be the best that I can be?
If a lawyer says, I don't think I need to go to a conference, then that lawyer is in a very dangerous predicament because they think they already know everything. And that's a problem. We're learning new information every day.
We're foolish if we think that this business we're in is what they taught us in law school. It's not.
At the beginning of my career, it was all academic. And finally, I realized that there are real people on the other side suffering, where to be strong, where to do our job, where to be educated in the process.
If you don't have a growth mindset, you've got nothing. And there's lawyers that'll tell you, oh, I've got 30 years of experience. But what they're really telling you is that I've got 1 year of experience repeated 30 times.
So the more you know your client and to find out about those fine details of their experience, the more empowered you are to be their voice.
There's no way that I can tell any story but the client's story, and if I'm not connected to it and I don't understand it, you know, then they need a different lawyer.
Sometimes you need to cry with them, you know, sometimes you need to laugh with them. It's a heartfelt fight, and if you can show that, you've got a leg up on the other side, because they're not in the heartfelt fight. They're just trying to save the penny.
These defense lawyers for these large corporations, they try to tear down that story. They're there to plant weeds in your garden.
What is the emotional scene that I want set before I get to the content? Because the facts don't matter if they don't create the experience. You are going to see what you believe.
And so there's these two fights being fought in every trial, which is the fight to prove your good points to drive the verdict and to diminish and undermine the bad points.
We spend a lot of time teaching lawyers how to listen, and we spend a lot of time teaching lawyers how to answer questions. As short as you can, you answer it, and then you put your spin on it. He'll listen to your spin if you do it that way.
I've often said he or she who loses credibility with the jury first loses the whole case.
What's going on the other side? It's just a lot of noise. It's so key never to let the other side define your case.
If I had to narrow down our success model, it's basically learning from a series of failures, or I like to say punches in the gut.
I think you just have to be able to take a lot of risks. Maybe you don't know that you're gonna be the best. So number one, you prepare, and number two, you show up and do it.
Confidence is nothing more than past results predicting future results. And so whenever I'm in a situation when I get bogged down, I've got a Rolodex of prior experiences where things have gone well.
Then instead of trying to grow horizontally, let's just say that the same fact pattern, sadly, that occurred 10 years ago in our practice, that we were able to collect $1 million on. Today, we're getting $10 million for. Same fact pattern. What's different? It's because we're just challenging, we're racing, we're seeking, we can't stop getting better at what we do in this art and this craft and this service and this calling.
It's that passion to know that I'm making a difference every day that gets me up and helps me see it through.
And I still have that energy. You know, I want to meet more people while I'm still healthy enough. I got to keep pushing.
This is not the time to quit. This is the time to even maybe embrace more and share it and give it away. Because when we do that, we improve the profession.
That skill set that you develop is a perishable skill set. If I didn't have a case, didn't have a trial for 2-3 weeks, I could feel rust. What do you say to a lawyer who's not had a trial in 6 8 months or a year. And so the boot camp provides the coaching at probably the best level that I've seen it.
I met Dan about 10 years ago, and he jumped on me in a class. I got to know him a little better, and that man has a big heart. If you really understand his objective is to make us all better.
I had 2 cases last year where there were similar cases on TLU on demand. And so I could literally watch Rahul Ravipudi, one of the best trial lawyers in the country, present. I could look at his slideshow. I could see what his themes were in opening. I could see what he did as far as crosses, apply them to my case. And it gave me tremendous confidence too in court to know that what I'm doing has been tested at the very highest levels against some of the best defense attorneys in the country. The catalog has millions of dollars of value.
I think what Dan Ambrose has done is assembling truly those great lawyers who are actually trying cases and share the secret sauce I think you find here at Trial Lawyer University like you don't see anywhere else.